Hey guys, it's Bree with Arco Ranch, and I am super excited to show y'all what we just finished, and that is our drip irrigation system. Not only do we have it in all of the vegetable garden beds, but we also have it in all the flower beds surrounding the vegetable garden. I am so excited, so let me go ahead and turn y'all around and show y'all our setup. So starting over there at our main water spigot, my husband put a 4-way splitter, and it goes down under the ground, runs along that fence right there, and then it runs straight over to this right here, and he has a pipe coming up, and he just drilled a hole through the fence. And then we have a 2-way splitter right here. So this one we could actually hook up a normal hose to it if we wanted to, but right now the only thing we have is this right here. So this is the timer that we got, and once we use it a little bit longer, I'll actually do a review on it and let y'all know if I like it or not, but so far it's okay. And then I'll have to put on the screen what these pieces are because I forgot what they're all called. But it runs down to there, and then we have it over to the bed. And then we have a T connector. That way it can run over to that bed right there. But we'll go back to this one. So we have another T right there. I'll show y'all what that's for here in a second. But then right here, we have a shutoff valve. That way, if we want to turn the water off to each individual bed, we can do that. So we have it running up into the bed. Now, this is the bed that we're gonna have 6 rows of zinnias every 6 inches. So we have our 6 lines right there. And we just used barbed connectors to put these into this 1/2-inch line right here. And then this line is 1/4 inch. And then these are the little drippers that we used. And it's hard to see on this one, but there's a little dot on the side, and that's where the water comes out. So you can see we actually have an emitter in every single spot. That way, every single seed that I plant will be getting watered at the same time. And then at the end, these are called goof plugs, but this is what blocks each end of the line. Now these are the fabric staples that we used. To be honest, our soil is so soft that those aren't really working the best, but it'll do for now. So then from this bed over, we have the same setup. Now in this bed, that bed over there, and that bed right there, we just have 4 lines coming off. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we only have 4 emitters in each one. So there, 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 and right there. Because we were only going to do a plant every square foot basically in these beds. So those all look the same. And that one. This one looks the same. This is where we're going to be doing all the sunflowers. So same thing, 6 rows with 6 emitters on each line, roughly every 6 inches or so. Now, over here, these are where our tomato pots are. We got those ones and those ones over there. So let me show you what my husband did for those. So he used a barb fitting and attached to the 1/2-inch line, and then ran it over. And then there is a 1/4 inch shutoff valve if we ever wanted to turn these off. And then he just ran that up. And then there is a drip emitter in each one of these close to the plant. Now he only did that for 3 of them, and then he just capped it off with a goof plug. And then over here, he has the same setup running and attached to this line right here. Now for the flower beds, he ran a T connector off of the bottom of that one. And this is the same for all 4 corners. So he ran it over. Same thing, we have a shutoff valve on each one of these. And then that's what it looks like on the back. Let me go ahead and walk around and show y'all what it looks like from the front. So starting over here, these little green tips are the sprayers, and they spray 180 degrees and they spray about 10 feet out. And then he tapped another line into the 1/2-inch line and ran it over behind the box and did it to that one right there. And this all comes teed off of that bed right there. And then over here, it's basically the exact same. We got that one right there. We have our line going over. And then we have this one right here. And then these both attach to this 1/2-inch line. We have a shutoff valve, and it tees off of that box right there. So now let's go to the other flower beds over here. So these ones we did do only a little bit differently. We have the same setup right there with the 180-degree sprayer with the stake, and then it runs into that line right there, which has the shutoff valve. And then we used the barb fitting and ran it over to right here. So this one and this one are connected to this bed right here. And then moving over, we have one in the middle of this bed leading to this line right here. Same thing, we have a shutoff valve on this one, and then a barred fitting leading to this one right there. So that means everything is set up on drip except for the pot in the corner, which there's only 3 pots in the corner right now, and then also the strawberry planters and the 2 pots in the middle. Let me show you real quick. So all those things right there are not set up. That pink bucket over there isn't set up. That pot underneath the valve over there is not set up. And that pot right there isn't set up. So what I like is at any time, if we want to shut off any of the beds, whether we don't have anything in there and there's no reason to water them, or maybe something starts leaking and we need to fix it, we just shut off the valve for that bed, and then we can go ahead and fix whatever we need. It may take a day or two depending on if we can get the parts or not, and then we don't have to worry about having to shut off the whole system, just shut off the bed that has a problem. I am really hoping that this will help with our plants. Last year during the summer, we were out here every single day hand watering every single plant, and that was a lot of work. So now we have it set up so it can go ahead and just do it for us. Now the biggest issue that we have right now is we don't know exactly how often to run the system, and then when we do run it, we don't know how long to have it running for. So if you have a drip system like this or even something similar, please let me know down in the comments how long y'all run it and how often you run it. Now I know obviously right now in the season we don't need to run it as often as we're going to have to in the middle of the summer. So I definitely know it's going to change, but I would still like to know what y'all do in your gardens. So I really think this is going to be a game changer for us, and I am so excited. I wanted to get all of this completely set up before we plant all of our seeds. So I am so excited. So whenever we do plant the seeds, I'm going to plant a seed in next to every single drip emitter, and then when we do our peppers and a few of our other plants, I'm going to be also planting those plants right next to the emitters. That way every single plant is going to get its own little water drip. Now the flower garden, I did not do a drip emitter on every single one of those, but we turned it on and we watched it to make sure it was going to reach everything, and it did. It reached everything, and we were pretty happy. And you know, we can always tap in and run another one if we need to, or if we want to run individual drip emitters in there, we can go ahead and add those. There's a lot of different things that we can add to it. We don't have to keep it the way it is. And you know, if we don't like the setup at all, we can always change it. Now in the beds that we did the 6 lines, say next year we only want to do 4 rows. Well, we can take some of the lines out and then we can just put a goof plug in there, or you know, whatever. We can change it. It doesn't have to stay like this. So that is definitely pretty exciting. At the end of the video, I will go ahead and take some footage of the whole system actually on. We already ran it for today, so I don't need to do that right now, but I will add some footage to the end so y'all can see what it looks like. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see y'all in the next video.